On August 5th, 2012, DeviantArt user BlueDog444 published this image, captioned, "I was listening to a song and suddenly this came into my mind." Through the force of the internet, MORDETWI airplanes became an instant classic. But why? With 1,000 favorites, 641 comments, and 46,000 views and counting, MORDETWI airplanes exist within a niche pocket of the internet. If you've seen this picture before, or even engaged in memes, redraws, fanfiction, or cosplay, a few things can already be assumed about you. You have existed on the internet for quite some time. You feel a sense of nostalgia for this photo or something in it, and you probably have a strange sense of humor. For quite some time now, I've been telling people that my goal for this video is figuring out the cultural who, what, when, and why of MORDETWI. But first, let me tell you a story. I started this video as a joke, and I wasn't even planning on publishing it, but for whatever reason, I wanted to try and find the original artist. First, I checked Twitter. Everyone has Twitter, they might even be under the same name and everything. I searched BlueDog444, and nothing really came up. Other than, like a couple people mentioning the user when somebody asked about the MORDETWI picture, but one person in particular stood out. The self-proclaimed MORDETWI lore master, Sen at CDV-Dankdonk. So I sent him a message, expecting nothing. I was at a bus stop on my way to work. Nothing. All day. Until, haha dude, not the strangest MORDETWI-related ask I've heard. I am the MORDETWI lore master for the Discord and subreddit. Sorry I'm replying so late, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you hadn't already, ask CartoonsLover23 about it. Pretty sure that's CartoonLover16's Twitter. They were the co-founder of the MORDETWI fan club in 2014. The conversation was going to end there, and I was going to move on to CartoonsLover23 for more info. But I couldn't help myself. I asked for their Discord, and I got in almost instantly. In retrospect, it feels sort of silly knowing that I had thought that I had just joined a Discord that was an underground modern revamp of the original MORDETWI fan club from DeviantArt, but I do think the existence of a MORDETWI Discord in 2021 almost says enough on its own. Within just a few brief moments though, I soon found out that the MORDETWI Discord is a meme-infested cult following of the culture of MORDETWI rather than the ship itself. Let me explain a little bit more. I ran a small poll of the users who were active at the time that I joined and gained 6 voluntary responses. I asked these questions. What is your name, age, and pronouns? When did you join the MORDETWI Discord? What interested you in the Discord? Are you in any other MORDETWI-related spaces outside of this Discord? Were you a fan of Regular Show and/or My Little Pony Friendship is Magic during the original airing? Do you actually ship MORDETWI, or is it more of a joke? Do you still engage with any media relating to Regular Show or My Little Pony? As in watching the series, reading and writing fanfiction, making art, etc. And then I asked them to add anything else they wanted below. So with my small sample, here's what I found out about the MORDETWI Discord and subreddit. The subreddit, made around September 12th, 2020, is where most of the MORDETWI Discord members come from. At the time of me joining, there were 36 members in the subreddit and 14 members in the Discord. At the time I'm currently writing and recording this, there are 78 subreddit members and 36 Discord members. This trend in popularity will be discussed near the end of the video. From the 6 people who volunteered their information, I could tell the Discord is made up of mostly high school age teenagers, all of whom had joined very early on. Their reason for joining ranged from actually creating the Discord to tagging along in memes and fan art made by their friends. Most of them watched Regular Show during the original runtime, one of them had not. No one had watched My Little Pony at all. None of them actually ship Mordecai and Twilight Sparkle, or ever had. Half of them still engage with MORDETWI related spaces and content outside of the Discord, one of them used to, and 2 of them never had at all. Here's what some of them put as additional comments. Meanwhile, as I was mulling over some theories pertaining to my who, what, when, where, and why questions, I reached out to the aforementioned CartoonsLover23. Because her messages were closed, I bought her a Ko-fi in hopes that she would message me back. Hello, this might be a strange message to get, but I was wondering if you could answer some questions about the MORDETWI fan club for me. I'm planning on making a video about it, and I heard from CDV-Dankdonk that you might be the founder from 2014. Please DM me if you're willing. She messaged me that same day. After talking with her for a while, she told me a little bit about her experience as the original founder of the MORDETWI fan club and how it came into fruition. It all started on DeviantArt when I was writing a fanfic called Earthworm Zim. So I look back into my gallery, that chapter introducing us to Mordecai and Twilight's friendship in chapter 14, part 1. This chapter was posted on June 14th, 2011. And for my gallery, I didn't make actual art featuring Mordecai and Twilight in the same picture until June 21st, 2011. It was near the end of Earthworm Zim, and Plans for Chaotic Order did the real MORDETWI start happening, which mainly featured Mordecai having a crush on Twilight and introducing Discord. I recall from when I first posted that chapter, everyone was already on board with the story. And because My Little Pony and Regular Show were still new and super popular during that time, there was feedback regarding mainly Twilight and Mordecai. So I say it was fairly popular, because even before I said anything, some people were already thinking I shipped them. Granted, Earthworm Zim has somewhat taken the back seat when people started getting into Chaotic Order. I didn't write them together, it was more of a hope spot for fans who were getting sick of Mordecai hopelessly going after Margaret. As for Twilight, I wanted to give her a guy friend that was not of Equestria and someone she could relate to. The shipping stuff people have regarded was mostly tease and possibility depending on how their shows would end. And to maybe dig into the reality that there would be someone better than Margaret. After the first Discord episode and the Canterlot wedding, I wanted to make Mordecai not just a potential boyfriend, but almost like a big brother to Twilight. I just let people decide how it all went between those two in the end. For me, they are really good friends, and Twilight was the godmother to Mordecai's kids. The MORDETWI fan club and later popularity was curated by fans of Abigail's old fanfiction, and not by Abigail herself. The previously mentioned Earthworm Zim is an extended and well-received 23-chapter crossover fanfiction. However, counting the chapters that were broken up into multiple parts, it extends more to 38 chapters total. Cartoons featured in this crossover include Invader Zim, Fairly OddParents, My Gym Partner's a Monkey, Family Guy, Fanboy and Chum Chum, Tough Puppy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Codename Kids Next Door, Kid Batowski, Total Drama Island, Regular Show, My Little Pony, and a lot more. The first chapter of the Earthworm Zim fanfiction has 12,000 views, while others, albeit less popular, are still in the high thousands. Although it seems like Abigail's experience as the co-founder and now founder of MORDETWI was mostly positive, anything as popular and fandom-centric as MORDETWI is expected to experience some backlash. However, she told me herself that she hosted a few contests and was still pretty active in the DeviantArt fan club itself, which currently has 4,623 members, 280,924 page viewers, and thousands of comments, art, and blog entries. Although created over a decade ago, the comment section is still active. Abigail, also known as Cartoons Lover 23, has drawn My Little Pony fan art recently, and plans on making MORDETWI stickers based on her old art. I encourage you to check her out and support her in any way that you possibly can. I'll link her Twitter, Ko-fi, and Cash App here, as well as in the description. She made a very recent post on the MORDETWI fan club DeviantArt page, stating, "I know this group is not as active nowadays, but I thought since the ship is trending, I'd come here and just say, wow. How is it that a ship I randomly created back in high school as filler for a fanfic suddenly end up on one of my favorite apps? I wanted to say thanks for keeping this ship alive, even after both Regular Show and My Little Pony ended. I'm thinking of drawing MORDETWI again, for the first time in forever. I've also decided to work on MORDETWI stickers to sell in my shop. I hope you're interested. Again, thanks for making me feel not ashamed of something I created." Although I still hadn't found the original artist of the MORDETWI airplanes picture, I was relatively content with what I had discovered in such little time. However, I still searched and, with the help of my friend, discovered this account claiming to be the original artist. Because his DMs were closed, I explored the WordPress link below. I found a contact page and took a shot in the dark. Hello, my name is Olivia, and I run a small YouTube video essay channel called Dog Eat Dog. Not entirely sure if this is the right place to contact you, but it doesn't hurt to try. I'm currently working on a video about MORDETWI, and I was hoping to get some insight from you since you're the creator of the infamous MORDETWI picture. Although I left my burner email, I would love to talk to you via DMs on Twitter or Discord if you're willing and able. Thank you for your time. About 20 minutes later, I got a message on Discord. We get to talking, and I was able to ask him a couple questions. Joseph, or Joey, is currently 18 years old and was a fan of both shows when they originally aired. However, similar to Abigail, he never actually shipped MORDETWI and instead tells me that he drew the picture to get into that social circle. Because he was 9 at the time the image was posted, he admits he doesn't even remember being that active in the fan club itself, despite arguably being the person who popularized the ship with people who had never read the Earthworm Zim fanfic or weren't necessarily part of the DeviantArt fan club. In fact, Joey's experience with MORDETWI is quite similar to mine. only really stumbling on the ship because of its popularity on DeviantArt. Keep in mind that Mordetwi Airplanes was posted a full year after the first chapter of Earthworm Zim. The meta story of the art is quite simple. Joey explains, quote, Mordecai and Twilight Sparkle are friends who are secretly pining for one another, and they become separated somehow. So this is them processing their feelings for each other and being sad that they were separated. Towards the end of our conversation, I ask him this. In retrospect, is there something you think you'd do differently? Do you regret posting Mordetwi? Has it impacted your real life or your experience on the internet in a significant way? He tells me that his feelings on his art becoming a meme really depends on his mental state. Sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's heartbreaking. People generally don't know who he is outside of the Mordetwi Airplanes picture, and they don't really even know that unless he comes out and says it. His art has changed so much in the last near decade. Joey is still continuing to draw and write as he pursues his GED. He doesn't have any active social media he wanted me to plug. The edited caption of the infamous photo now adds this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the most infamous Mordetwi picture on the internet. No flash photography, please. And then a remake of the drawing published a year later in 2013, featuring PJ, a crossover ship between Peacock from Schoolgirls and Sanjay from Nickelodeon Sanjay and Craig. Even through all my research and my discussions with these amazing, wonderful cornerstones of Mordetwi, I still haven't found an exact reason as to why the ship became such a sensation. And it's one of those instances where something like Mordetwi or any other meme could only become popular through the internet because something like that is only really discussed through the realm of the internet. As in, it's not really something that you would talk to with a real life person. You have to find your people. My guess goes back to what Abigail mentioned though. Both Regular Show and My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic were cultural milestones for two completely different reasons and audiences. And, like Abigail and Joey, although I never actually shipped Mordetwi, I knew about the characters because I was a huge fan of both of those shows during their original airing, and I had internet access. Crossover ships are nothing new though, and the most popular ones seem to reflect what the internet finds the most amusing at the time. I mean, are you honestly surprised that Twilight Sparkle was a popular character during the wretched brony era of the internet? No, probably not. I should mention now that even though Regular Show ended a few years ago, My Little Pony is still alive and kicking, although with a new series. Here is a real-life, real-world, official example of humanized Twilight Sparkle and another character who's a side character named Flash Sentry from the official TV series My Little Pony: Equestria Girls. Like many of you watching this, I also grew up on the internet. I've been using the internet every day for over a decade now, and I was part of this very culture. As it's currently trending on TikTok, we'll probably never fully understand why Mordetwi blew up in the first place, but we can certainly understand why it seems to circle back. Nostalgia. Nostalgia for a time where most of us were unafraid to be cringe on the internet. Thank you.